So talking about fire service in Akwa Ibom State, what is the quality of your service? What is the service like?
The quality of our service is excellent. Talking about the training capacity of fire personnel, from that angle is excellent. We respond to time. As far as I'm concerned, the response time to fire incidents, no matter anyway except location, is 5 minutes. So as a PRO of fire service, I could say that our response time is always being observed, though there are some lacuna or some reasons why we may not always get to the scene of events at time, and that is caused by the public. If I may say such, most times fire service siren will be blown when there's an emergency. The motorists, they will purposely tell you, we are not giving way, hold on, so those things will mitigate us from getting to the scene of the fire. And they may not know that a life is at stake while fire service on en route. So these are some of the things that cause it. But talking about the skillfulness of fire personnel is absolute.
Oh, but it seems you people lack some amenities to help, or some facilities to help in carrying out this work. People are always complaining. If they ask them to call fire service, which fire service, what will they come and do, and so on. What do you think prompts people to be saying things like this?
I would say maybe if anybody engaged on such things, I think it's out of ignorance. Fire service exists, and fire service are doing their job. You're talking about the necessary things we lack. Though it's not applicable to state fire service alone, it's almost becoming a Nigerian thing that we do not pay cognizance to safety. People, when I say people, maybe government, private, individual, and sectors don't really place a premium on fire safety, which to me, that's supposed to be the major. What are the things we lack? Number one, people retire from fire service almost on a yearly basis, and we need replacement, and that has not been done for the past almost a decade, and that's a problem in the system. We're supposed to have about a crew to fire incidents, supposed to be not less than anything 8. But where we have less manpower, you will see that in most cases only 3 personnel could be available. And what would 3 men be able to do? 4 persons available, what would 4 persons be able to do? So these are one of the things that causes problem to us. And then another thing is that we are lacking sophisticated fire trucks and equipment. A couple of weeks ago, there was fire outbreak here in Akwa Ibom State on Oron Road. And fire personnel in Akwa Ibom State did their best. They fought the fire, and then Federal Fire Service joined us. And at the point, this fire involved Class B kind of fire, which is flammable liquid, because tires falls under Class B. And we needed not just water. At this point, we needed foam concentrate, but we had exhausted our own. So suddenly, thank God, Federal Fire Service came, and then with the foam concentrate they had on their pliers, we were able to knock down the fire. So these are the things we lack: sophisticated equipment, which I believe government in due course will be able to make it available for us to do our job effectively. Okay,
so far, have you appealed to the government to help the company out with this equipment?
We've done the best. Beyond us talking to government or applying to government, I think the public have been crying, and government have heard the outcry of the public, because somebody will say fire service they did not come on time. When they came, they did not do this, so that is very obvious that there's a problem. And when they cry like that, I believe government, being a listening government as well, are also listening to them, to knowing that fire service lacks some things. So we have done our best anyway by telling them these are the things we need to enhance our services, and also the public too are doing, like even you, the media also are doing the same thing.
Right, okay. So what do you think the government should put in place to help the fire service? They are trying to do their work, but obviously they lack so many things. What do you think the government should do to
fire service need a total overhaul? Fire service, as far as I'm concerned, we did not have a research center. We don't have it. It's very lacking behind. And if we don't have a research center, automatically we are living in the 19th or even 17th century. The years run, the period is run, we are in the fast age. So if we have research center, we'll be able to know the intricacies and also know what to do in this modern age, And besides that too, we also need government to help us do what we call recruitment. We need recruitment. We need to enhance our manpower for what we have so far, because it's terrible. And I believe government is a listening government, and they will do it. And besides manpower too, like I mentioned earlier about sophisticated equipment, we need these things to help our services go smooth. Because as far as I'm concerned, with the number of fire personnel we have at hand, sincerely, these guys are trained. I'm saying this because I remember some time ago, last 2 years, a group of fire personnel came in from Enugu to undergo a training at a fire service training school. You know what they said? They said, we have never have a practical and proactive and pragmatic fire personnel like we have in Akwa Ibom State. So meaning what we have are good, and they're trained to do their jobs effectively.
I'm talking about research centers. Do you have researchers that could prompt government to actually go into building research centers?
Researchers wouldn't be a problem. As far as there's a research center, then send people on training. Send them on training. When you send people on training, it helps everybody to be versed with the realities of the moment. What applies 5 years ago might not be applicable today, but might not apply today. So research and also training would help the effectiveness of fire service, and also to be able to fit in to the 21st century approach.
In the past, let's say in 2019, how many cases of fire outbreak did you reckon?
Precisely, it's over 70. 70 precisely in Akwa Ibom set. Precisely, and I was trying to rub mine with my prevention officer. We're trying to go through records, financial losses. That those 70, I think it's something very near to billion.
Wow.
Sincerely speaking. Now, the one that happened late last year, 2019, on the wrong road, is over 40 million loss. But now, this is the major thing. It could have been more than that, but not for the intervention of fire service. When there's a fire outbreak, okay, the fire service discovers that a particular place is totally consumed by fire, they will not waste time there. What they do is to make sure they prevent the fire from spreading from there to another virgin environment. So by that, we save a virgin property from being burnt. If this one is already burnt, we will not do anything. The best we could do is to dampen the place, okay? But the major focus now will be on the other places that fire hasn't caught yet. So it could have been, financial loss could have been more than that, but over 70, incidences. So this has been it. And these things could have been, most times could have been mitigated, could have been avoided, but not that the people, I don't want to say people don't want to listen, they're listening.
All right, now, which period do you record fire outbreaks more?
It's Harmattan.
Harmattan.
This season we're in.
You have to be very careful this time.
Harmattan. I said earlier because, see, there's almost no water in the soil anymore. Evaporation has taken place. So the soil is dry. Leaves are dry. Everything is dry. So there's a tendency that if there's a fire outbreak, that it could spread. And the air, sometimes the way the air is coming, it's coming on almost different direction. This way it could come from the east, west, northwest, southwest, and so many directions, and it's quite inexplicable. So this is a season we usually have fire. Just imagine what happened in California. I think I'm right. It's Australia. It might happen in California also. It happened in California. That was early last year. Australia, those guys had to pray for rain. But just imagine such thing happening in Akwa Ibom, and let me not even say Nigeria. In Akwa Ibom, that means, that means all of us, we are done for. With all the sophisticated equipment they have, You know, so oh boy, so it's fire is always on the increase, especially in this season. But we are telling you that you should not become a victim of circumstance. Harmattan is good. At least the breeze, the wind, you are not sweating too much. Like me, I sweat a lot. But this season, I sweat less. Enjoy that. So don't cause this season become a cross to you on the ground that you have become a victim of circumstance. So some of the tips we have put across to you, try and put them to mind, and you will not become victim of circumstance.
Okay. And what about people that live under trees, under plants, in case of fire outbreak? What advice can you give to them?
Wherever you build your house, whether under the tree, on top of a tree, nearby the tree, wherever, you must be safety conscious by having the necessary safety gadget to save you in case of any outbreak.
Okay, now it's quite unfortunate that many people in Uyo do not know your offices, not just in Uyo, across the states. They don't even have the emergency number. Someone like me, if I'm asked to call the fire service now, trust me, I want to know the number to call. So can you help us out with that?
Wait, to those who don't know our offices, that means there are new people in town. Our offices are very obvious to be seen. There are some persons, especially the one on Brook Street off Waniba. Some people used to think that it's a mechanic workshop. Why? Because you see the truck here, you see things put in, scanty. But I think, sincerely speaking, since the new administration came, that particular notion was changed. Why? Because the Commissioner for Works, Honorable Ifremi, was able to put some beautiful touches on the training school. That if someone drives, at least you will see a beautiful building. So that changes people's notion that that place was like a workshop or maybe like a stable. So it's becoming now. So if somebody would drive by and then does not recognize fire service there, maybe you did not look very, very well. And then there's something else.
Safety number.
Yes, the safety number. Safety number. I would like to give the following safety numbers in case of any fire emergency in your neighborhood. Please put a call across, and fire service will respond to it. Numbers are as following. Fire service headquarters is 0813 132 1776. I'll take that again. 0813 132 1776. That is fire service headquarters. And then Uyo divisional station. Uyo station is 0813 356 4978. I take that again. 0813 356 4978. So these are the two numbers I would like to give you at the moment. If you call headquarters can link. If fire outbreak, if fire takes place perhaps at Ikono, then you do not have Ikono number, call headquarters. Headquarters will link Ikono if the appliance is serviceable.
Sorry to cut in. You're talking about the headquarters. Where is the headquarters?
It's still on the Brook Street, just by Oliver Twist. That's the administrative section of fire service.
Okay.
Yeah, the operational is the other one, still on Brook Street, just after or behind Power City. Yeah, off Waniba. So these are the following numbers, emergency numbers.
That's beautiful. And now there is this trending issue, not just in Uyo, it seems to be the whole of Nigeria, where people use residents for gas vending shops. Is this approved by fire service? No, they're doing this in the name of survival. They want to survive the system. So they have to get one room, maybe someone's house. They use the front part of it to dispense gas.
How will someone claim that he want to survive or she want to survive when you're digging your grave? That's not survival. It's not it. We'd never agree on such. Neither do we, or shall we ever agree on it. Some people use this as this excuse that government do not provide job. I've listened to radio programs. The other day I was speaking in one of the radio stations in the States. I said that this is a time bomb about to explode. Some people would think that this young man is pessimistic. No, I'm just being a realist. One of the days I went to one of the gas stations, unapproved gas stations in town. The place was tensed. It was so organized, and the young man was inside. He's not even thinking about his health problem. He was inside filling gas for people. The door was shut. I knocked, he opened. I said, young man, are you okay? He said, yes, I'm okay. So now ask him, what safety gadget do you have? He said, we have a extinguisher. I said, good. He brought it out. There was not a single gas. I told him, are you aware there's nothing inside? He said, yes, I will know. My boss, I was angry. I slammed the door and left him. I told him, don't worry, we are coming for you people. We are telling people not to kill themselves before time. Yes, so some of these illegal gas stations, you never, even before God or man, nobody will know or care to know that it was out of hunger that you have to establish things illegally, and many of them in residential area. Listen, if fire occur in any of such places, the whole premises will not be safe, will not be spread. So we are just shouting, and we are also not just shouting, also we are also pleading with you, please. Beside the fact that the state government through the Ministry of Environment, they are collaborating with fire service. Beside the fact that they are going to clamp down on some of these illegal places, but you must also mercy yourself. Mercy yourself. Those places are illegal. Don't do that. And if you don't mercy yourself, mercy your neighborhood. So it is wrong. What is wrong is wrong. So we do not approve such to go on.
You said you shut the door and then you left. How even there was fire outbreak immediately you left that place, and then you are called on to put out the fire? Will you go back?
Yeah, that was the same question that I was asked that day when I mentioned the same thing on the radio, on the radio interview. In fact, that one was this: PRO, when you shut the door out of anger, then because of that shutting the door, fire just exploded immediately.
Yes.
I told him it would not explode because it wasn't a metal door. It wasn't a metal door, but we would go back to safe. Why? Because our job is to save lives and property, whether they do what they do out of ignorance. As far as we are called to be a mediator, to saving lives, we would have gone there to save. But to avoid us fighting fire unnecessarily, okay, we are giving these tips for you to avoid them from happening. So some of the fire incidents are avoidable acts. So please shut down your gas station, especially if it's illegal, or if you want to do a good service, get to fire service and have approval. Get a new location outside the residential area. Sincerely, you do your job and people will still patronize you.
In case of fire outbreak, what are the first steps to take before the fire service arrive?
Before the fire service arrive, the first step to take is to call the emergency number. Yes.
Well, before you put a call across, at least you have to do something. In medical, so we say.
Okay, see what happened. Okay,
aid.
yeah.
So what are the
in
first
medical,
steps to take?
Yeah, the first aid. Okay. Let me assume that is medical. The first aid is this. If it's fire that you can handle. The fire has classes. There are class A, B, C, D, and so many. Okay, and each of the classes of fire has different distinguishing approach and media. Now, if it's fire that has to do with class B, maybe you were making your stew or frying your egg, suddenly your frying pan got with fire. Okay, what you need to do at that time before you call fire services is you can use improvised method. Fire comes as a result of three things: fuel, heat, and oxygen. When there's fuel is anything that can burn. It's not petrol. Anything like a human being, we are all fuel because we can burn. So when these three things, we call it fire tetrahedron. When these three things are available, fire will surely come to be. Okay, so if fire just got into your frying pan, what you need to do is to, if you don't have fire blankets, you have a lid of your pot lid. See what I'm saying?
Sure.
Or your pot cover, or however you put it. Just put on top of the frying pan. The fire will go completely. Why? You have separated oxygen from the fuel. So when that happens, automatically fire will go. So while or before you call fire service, if you can do these things, it's good. And then if it was fire too, that also has to do with flammable liquid, and then you are close to your detergent in your house, you can put water, and then stir it. The flakes that comes could serve as foam concentrate. So these are the immediate thing oneself could do if fire occur. But if you see that it's a full-grown fire, you don't even attempt this. Call fire service; they will be there to help you.
So before one builds a house or establish any form of business, do they come to your office for approval?
Yeah, structural engineers specifically, their job is to serve as a synergy with the public, the masses, when they want to build houses. But many a times they don't carry fire service along. And the worst is when people build filling stations. It's very sad. There are some things we boycott that has to do with life.